I very much felt as though I thought I was losing it when I was typing in the title to my next, to this. And so, like I said, that's concluded. Um, I've been accused. There's been crimes. There's been criminal litigation. There's been lawyers. There's been police. There's been that, and I'm here. I I have my phone. The phone I have. The phone I can use, and the 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 if it is, I want to say that I hold Jesus Christ in very high esteem. It may be even the people who are accused of killing Jesus Christ by his apostles in a very, very evident point in time, I feel as though I achieved sight on while reading the holiest of translations of the Holy Scriptures near the Book of Kings in the Old Testament. That's but it's in the Bible. Um, that there may be many different type of Jewish people who grew to hate Jesus or grew to confess to, you know, or aggressor or like the reputation for being, you know, for killing Jesus. I only want to say I hold Jesus Christ's name in high esteem at this point in time to continue saying what it is I want to say. And that is about, the position of what informants could be and things of that nature. I remember clearly outside what it was that that Cody's son had for a Christmas present. He had an electrical vehicle. I was outside during Christmas, around Christmas. I saw the electrical vehicle. I saw his his car. He was motivated. His parents had bought him. They had their Christmas outside. I got enough around the back of here where it is that I saw that Cody he actually has a backyard. His backyard could be big enough to fit a small swimming pool, or big enough to fit all the swimming pools that I've seen in Mercer County. Not the one I want to go swimming in, but it was an energy crisis. It was an electric crisis, and it was a way that the police in Mercer County, the mayor in Mercer County found that could be used to keep me in this location to continue a different type of procedure, to instate a different type of behavioral health that is not in line with Greater Trenton behavioral health. You know, so they can claim their own opportunity, so they can get a place where Oaks Integrated can be, you know, um, Greater Ewing Behavioral Health, go-to criminal organization that sponsors Ewing Township's social services and people who are affiliated with social services. So since it is that that Oaks Integrated took place by way of assorting the issues, the individuals who motivated with Greater Trenton Behavioral Health, as it is that Greater Trenton Behavioral Health is no longer a visible asset to Trenton, New Jersey. It's not a reality to you in Township, New Jersey. And my subsidy that I have, I mean, the one that makes sense, the smart subsidy is cool. It's actually being located and predicated on. And now we have the predator is Ewing Township as it is, and that it's involved. And Cody didn't have enough Christmas gifts. And when you see him outside, he has that it was something smart. It was something cool. You know, he got to leave this street before this that I got to move and leave this street, because at the point in time when I got to leave, it would have been a location. It would have been a nicer apartment. It would have been a house. It would have been uh, 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 assorted, you know, priority that I could locate, that I could move into as fast as it was that Oaks Integrated moved into Trenton, New Jersey. Oaks Integrated wants to move into Ewing, New Jersey with one house, and now it is that they don't want to own this one house. This house in Ewing, New Jersey just became a new house. It's not a house that I can sell. It's not a house that's been appropriated. And it's a house that Verizon actually uses and forwards, you know, and the sorts. Verizon doesn't even, Verizon, the actual corporation, the company, has right to forward my calls that I make to the police station. I was calling the fire department, and they won't be here now. So it's not difficult. It's not hard to, you know, to to altercate or to modify that which it is that is. But at this point in time, there's several different locations that could be modified, that could happen, that could occur, but it's become rain. The rain is what it is that I see that's begun now. I would like that for it to be the last time that I'm watching. And what I'm watching, I would like it to be the last time. But it can't be the last time. So what it is that eviction is easy if it is that someone wants to live in an apartment. If it is that somebody wants to live in their home, eviction is easy. But nobody can evict a financial, priority. That's not a utility of a fact that can be realized in enough time for the police to come and motivate with issues that has it that they can explain everything to everybody, but they don't have everybody to talk to about what it is that will happen, next week, that will happen tomorrow, that will happen or would have happened. And I do like to say that. So I mean, even now, what it is that I want is what it is that I have that could be packed, that could go, that could leave. And what it is that damage to the property inside of this rental space is in some way or form having to be communicated to my financial burden, so that next year in 2025, me living here can be something used to accuse me of being a shut-in or not having proper hygiene, or I gotta check over here. I didn't put a hole in the wall here, but I gotta see something. I was talking about a mouse. I want to see if he knew exactly how to get back in the basement for a moment, real quick. All right. At this point, I feel as though they could have a mouse, but there was a mouse that's not real smart. But this mouse got so smart, he actually could use the hole he used to get out of my room to get back in here. I was also saying something about the different types of ants and things. They have places where they could go and continue to be until it is that the Earth's core thaws out, and then things can happen for people that continue to happen to want to be, gardening or digging or doing something like that. So this it is, I understand. This it is, I feel as though I know. But, here it is where it is that this happens. It's right there. It's right there. So I'm going to locate it. It's not being ripped, and like I said, what is to happen. For it to be clear is that things like this happen in people's homes when they own their homes. But when people don't own their home, they can't live in a home like this when they're only renting it. But if they're leasing it, these terms can happen with regards to renters and landlords' rights come to a point when it is that this produced legally can actually hold the landlord in fault for breaking the terms of the lease. As it is that it happens, I know for a fact that the landlord had broke the terms of the lease, ultimately, initially, by refusing my money, as it is that it turns that it was my check in my name that was refused when I first moved here. The landlord being Oaks Integrated, they refused here. And the landlord of 2024 had speciated issues from even the outside, and that wasn't refused. But at this point in time, the terms of the lease are broken by the people who signed the lease, the people who drew the lease up, and the people who still have a copy of the original lease. They could talk about moving packets and things of that nature, but nobody at this point in time has been motivated to look for a property or to assort anything with anything that can possibly happen. They're looking here and they're looking for a death. I lived in a place, Project Freedom. They called something Unit 15. It may have had to have fit in with regards to electrical priority, that circumstance, a position that they hold, that they obtained in Lawrence Township on Princeton Pike. I know for a fact that as it is that it concerns, Spruce Street, where it is that the original Mercer County branch of Oaks Integrated was established, and with regards to positions that they had there, with regards to the Trenton, New Jersey staff that are full of different caseworkers and things of that nature. Could very well be that Corey Maribel works there with their operator. So at this point in time, while it is that they claim that two people work and on Princeton Pike, they don't. I'm stating this with issue that this is not a hospice. This is not a position I gained by filling out a application or filling out a application to an apartment. This is something that is being packaged, being baggaged, and being mailed to me as an apartment complex to require it's me as an investigator, me as a legal minded individual, me as a practical, professional lawyer to myself. This is a very, 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 very. It's a very puzzling. It's a very impractical time of different assessments. this location is practical, though what it is that happened when I was followed home, as it is, the phone was called, the police were called on me. It was an individual that was on the porch that entered into the property, where it is that the original police report was filed against me because I lived in the property. The police didn't know what he was talking to saying, so he said that he had to go in and get her information, but he didn't know her. He knew everybody in that house. He knew everybody in this township. He knew everybody on the street. He knew everybody who lives here. He knows everybody who's involved in the LLC, the new group called. We also are guilty parties that are in a group that was organized by Oaks Integrated to share this location in a junkyard I live in. I wanted to also say that it's getting, about the time when I was outside, there was a police officer so forthcoming. He said, I told him, I said I had a gas check. I had a gas leak. I called public service. He said, he said it smells like gas and trash out here. He said it smells like gas and garbage. He was saying that. The police outside, they went outside, and what they did with my driver's license, my identification, for living, they took it places. Like I saw one chimpanzee. They took my ID and they took it seriously when they didn't want to give it to me. So one officer on the porch, she gave it to the officer who was in the grass, and he looked down to it and walked away. And he motivated it so that his police bulletproof vest could actually see it. I believe other officers at that point in time were trying to do different things with their camera to keep me in frame, to keep what I was wearing in frame, to keep that I was in my house in frame, to keep that I was very, 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 very sound in mind in frame, to look and ask and then continue. So you have a problem with Cody? They never addressed the individuals who still are there, who should have a problem with Cody. And they called the police on me because I walked into my house. The police went around the block 2 times to make sure I was home and to make sure I wasn't outside. And they knocked on the door together as a SWAT team with no gloves on, so they could make sure I stayed in the house or stayed connected to the house or stayed where it is that the house could be while they were outside. So I didn't try to run away from the police, but I couldn't have ran. If I ran, I would have been locked up or I would have been shot. And at that point in time, it was another report. It was a criminal report. It was an allegation. It was what they call these different things that were made. So what I'm saying is I do not have the time to pursue an issue about that, but I've had many times to pursue many issues. I had many places to go. I've seen many things involving many people. I got in fights with children who were Caucasian. I got in disputes with adults who weren't. Even if this wasn't Black History Month, it's not. Right now, it's the 4th of July. You understand? And right now, nobody has to go to school anymore. So nobody's selling drugs in the school zone. Nobody, nobody except the individuals and I don't want to bring it to that. But what it is that I want to say about what it is that these things come to be is something I don't want to have, and what it is that I spoke about me personally when it is I was speaking. You know, I would really have appreciated that something came to be. I mean, more more practical than receiving emails and receiving different types of feedback every day and different type of this and that. And today, since I was outside, it was a time for the mailman to come because at that time there was nobody collecting mail across the street, and it's not coincidental. But if it is that it was coincidental, it was that there's an established um activity that already reached. But as I want to say, is the Ewing Township Police Department, even as it is that I did call, several individuals. There's a commander there. So even if by now I speak of this testimony, it's a testimony that I can render, specifically to institute and have place on what public record I could have. But it's very, very cold at this point in time. I don't have anything to be guided with regards to that, which concerns the heat. And even if my heat came on properly, it's very, very cold in the center of what this house is. But for this house to be arranged with plumbing from the basement, I'm sure that the plumbing includes water that, is fossilated, which means that they have fossils. Let's call fossils without one. They have fossils in the basement where water does appear, you know. So that also includes plumbing and the water that everybody drinks. And then on this whole entire street, everybody on this whole entire street can still drink water. Although I'm thinking of something that I wouldn't want to have thought about to have made sense of what it is that can be sensible. Contamination. Uh, contamination. Uh, briberies. And that the electric company has enough money at this time to bribe people to move into houses. And then use solar powered heating, something of that nature. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I really could, but there's nothing I want to do about that. You look at it, it's still a small house. You gotta have the time to be inside of it when you live in it. Nah, man, then it could be your house. Nah, man, if you had the time to live in this house and it's your house, nah, man, I suppose you had the time to know. I wouldn't even put this house up for sale. So this house being off the market, it was off the market a little while ago. And right now, it's off the market probably because this house is not a house that can be on the market again based on what it is that, that the landlord had done to repair it. Also based on the fact that it will never be sold again after it is that I depart here, that I leave here. It can't be sold again. It it's going to consolidate into an issue that doesn't bring a property value to a state. But if you ever heard of a person or people that could bring the property value down and in the neighborhood so fast that everybody else could get new property, the absence of the consistency with regards to everything at all, it really brings the property value to a time that it's not even up to me to obtain what is I want to be able to insult or to be able to approach or invite or become what it is that I feel as though the intervention is that the Ewing Township police officer had with with the people on the corner of this street, that intervention, because even as I spoke about auctions, it's more drastic, it's more non-conventional convenings of things that do have that, regardless of what people need their medication. People need their time to sleep. People have to wake up. People have to also not wake up. People have that. I have enough time to say that this is going to be a good day for me, but I don't want to plan out a meal for everybody who has to eat. So it's a good day for me to be here, even if it was that March the 23rd in Mercer County could be. It's a time when I'm going to welcome all of the company I have that I want to actually position mine. It's nice. And a lot more. So that's what I have. Go ahead on. And motivate. This here. What we have here. We have nothing like position. I have one. I want to not. I don't want to say exploit, but no. What I have here comes. What it is I have. I do know. I do say, and this isn't anything that I want to reproduce or to take. That's not serious. It's people that would lie, it's people that can lie, people that would know how to. But it's not a person that can make mistakes about where it happens. All right. So what do we have? I got this. All right, I want. That's not all I want. Though, what it is that we have is something like a problem. And what it's going to be is problem here. I want this also here. Let's go here. I like the way it's looking. I like the way it looks. So 5 years ago, on March 24th, 2018, it snowed in what they call a courtyard of Hamilton, New Jersey. Hamilton, New Jersey. Realistically, I don't think snow is even going to happen here again, realistically, because of all the pollution. They're realistically trying to kill me. And at this point, they've been using cops to do it for so long. They're using cops to have a visual outside of my house. There's no cops saying, Mike, you're a nice individual, but it's really cold outside, so it'd be nice if you went inside. But since you're outside, we're not. No, there's no cops there like that. There are cops that say things like, you know what happened? What we found out when we found out what happened, we found out that that's what happened. I found out that this is the last time. March 2000, 2018 was going to be a fucking year that it had snow cover the actual whole entire courtyard in Hamilton, New Jersey, fast enough for that to be something that draws a conclusion to this whole entire year. It's not enough philosophy to have it that it can be that it will snow ever anywhere on the planet on March the 24th or on March the 2nd, on March the 1st. And it gets cold outside. It gets cold outside. I'm not a cold person. I'm not an unkind person. I'm not aggressive. I have to be kind to my mom. I have to be kind to my mom's mom. I have to be kind to my daughter. Even when I don't want to be kind to her, I have to also be kind to myself. I have to be kind to this time I live in. And this is a nice time to live in. This is a good time outside. It's also a good time for people to know about things that are a good time. I know that. I do know that. It's a good time to be a lawyer. That's why, you know, I am one. So I'm not going to state what it is I would have if I could make a mistake. But if anybody came over my house, I don't think they would try to steal my car. I don't think they'd want to steal my basement. But since my basement is still for sale, I think that's what people want to take. For a small, you know, intellectual property. Though I can be more happy. I would have that. Being less happy wouldn't make me less happy. It's just that here it's not a foundation. In this house, I did many different things that would cause the property to disappear. I was in my kitchen. There was a small fire. It was a big fire. I was there. I used enough natural water to put it on unnatural gas and natural alcohol. I tell you, the alcohol I used exploded the whole entire stovetop. Boom. It never stopped burning. You know what I did? I did what it is I would do. And I did what it is I would have had to do if this whole house could have that happen. I used something like flour, like powder. I used baking soda. Boom, boom, boom. It did not stop the fire. It didn't put it out. It did not put it out. So, yeah. I'll tell you what happens. Anybody wants to be an arsonist, they get in my basement and they start lighting matches and they start doing stuff. I know for a fact that I'll find out that the house is on fire before it blows up. What does that do? I think it does something. It makes it seem like, somebody works, at Wendy's or something. They say, listen, you know what I mean? Since you work there, when you leave, go in the basement, start a fire. I'm the only one that's going to find out. And then after that, the Wendy's motherfucking blows up. Now I mean it's on fire, and then the owner of the property could claim, could get can get insurance payout based on the the damaged house, the damaged property that was built on a private property, and after that, the individual will probably be able to, build another Wendy's. So it's not motivating around that. Man, with regards to this, I don't have an insurance claim. I don't have any I don't have any dependents to claim. Man, I can't even tell you the amount of times I claimed my daughter on my own taxes. Claim my daughter as a dependent, for my income tax return. But by the time they stop promoting income tax season, everybody in your township, even the police, had that they spent their blood money that they used to convene around my house and try to bribe me into taking the dirty check and keeping it. It's a check That's dirty. But even when it comes back, it ain't nothing about property tax. Property tax assistance means that it's for property I own, not for property I live in. I do own this house, but at this point in time, I own it as the landlord would. I don't, but I own this house I live in. That's not how you have to teach people these things. That's what you say to people that don't know. There were mushrooms outside of this house that, if you could have saw them, the cats that know about those mushrooms and they don't look at them. I gave the last meal to these cats today. I had enough. I had enough. I had enough with them on. I didn't see any. So after all that, there was a dog over there. That dog is gone. The cats are gone. They took the cats, or some of them. So, I mean, like it is, I said, they're making me work, but they're making me work as someone that doesn't have to buy another house. They're making me work as someone who already has chronic, or that already has, diagnosed conditions based on my being able to go back and forth to the hospital. Go back and forth to the doctor's office. So the police don't offer insurance. It's not there. Here I see an aged and dated, speciality to the fire alarm, and I can tell you about many things in electrical wiring. There have to be fire alarms in the basement too. Even if you live in an apartment, there have to be fire alarms in the basement. There have to be precautions set and measured in the basement. That's why there have to be state inspections every year. They even have to inspect the basement. There were no state inspections, not one year. I lived in this town, I lived in this county, and I know about it well, and I had talks, and I speak, and I continue to, I will, but you think moving is difficult? It's never an easy thing moving. It's never an easy thing. But as it is, like I said, it's really incorrect. It's really incorrect. All the time, I had as a person, as a personal rapper, as an individual for the 624. It's enough I have now to do what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do. Getting a gun to shoot somebody, getting a gun to shoot all the police that show up outside of your house, that might save your life, you know. If you move here, if you live here after me, you get a gun, you get it, you shoot it. It must be something, smart and wise about the way that this house was prepared so that gun could be in the basement. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is to deduce these various different things that have what defense could be. Is I was talking about something recently. I was saying something about something so recent. It can't even be what the time I could correct, with regards to anything that would be very incorrect. So I'm gonna, continue and be with regards to amount of time I have, to do what it is. I will and will continue to, but I want to also not, and go on to render this to an exacting position. I feel strongly that the damage that was accumulated by way of the waste, it breached a priority that alerted electrical and community company statewide authorities that this actual house in the position above where the hole is and out inside of my house, outside of the bathroom and outside of my bedroom, that is a special litigator. I no longer have to or want to collect to be about, but that happens to be the 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 damage that no one can locate, no one can fix. So even as it is that water damage could be there, I mean, as it's raining now, it's nothing that's going to make that happen. So that can amount to an amount of water that I can fix. Man, by way of myself, I don't have these times to order another house. I don't have a work order. I can't order any money right now, so I'm gonna, get ready to do what it is that I do, and make sure I get to bed in time to appreciate the medication that I do take, and the medication I'm going to continue to take that I do continue to take, because I want to get to bed at 9 o'clock. I don't always get to do so, after so many priorities and times that I address what I'm going to do. I'm going to rap. And until it is clear that there's a way that it can be possible by way of that which is that was orchestrated by the conniption fit that happened with regards to YouTube. It's not going to be until I get it clear to understand what YouTube is going that I'm going to motivate anything realistically to advocate or to position something that I want obtained by a property what it is. So I mean that is what it is. That has to be what it has to be. And for this point in time, I mean that's a point in time I have, and it's all the point in times I'm going to have. So.